Sit down. Roll over. Good boy. That was a good rollover. Stay. Good, that's how you do it. Good boy, you're a good dog. That's the Amazing Bailey. I'm Eric Barlevav, and I race bicycles for the United Healthcare Professional Cycling Team presented by Maxxis. Cycling for me started when I was about 8 years old. I was just in love with the elevation changes, going uphill, going downhill, turns. There were berms that we were riding, and it was just like, you know, I've ridden up and down my block and around the neighborhood, but never in the dirt. And it was just fantastic, exhilarating adrenaline rush. And I developed as a rider. I got stronger. I went from being the kid that was bonking on the 30-mile mountain bike ride to, you know, needing extra food and extra water and a push up the hill. And, you know, a few years later, I was starting to win junior mountain bike races, junior expert, then I worked my way up to semi-pro. I think I started doing like the occasional road race, where I went from like Cat 5 to Cat 2 in one season. Harlem, 2008. I won, I crashed. I beat a lot of pretty good guys and put me on the map, I guess. I still get goosebumps when I watch the video. Can't help but laugh at myself a little bit because I was flopping around like a fish out of water, but it was good. Good win. The day before training camp, we were at Bicycle John's. It's one of the shops that I feel most comfortable at here in the Valley in LA because I worked there previously. But John himself is one of the nicest guys I know, and he lets me pretty much go in and use the shop. You know, it's at my disposal. If I need to go throw the bike in the stand and put a wrench on it, it's cool. Went in there, had to box my bike up, had to prepare a few last things before training camp. You know, wrapping the frame, protecting it with the packing material, putting it in the box. I started off by racing for Bicycle John's on their mountain bike team. I raced semi-pro mountain bikes with John, with Bicycle John's when I was, I believe, 19. And they had a job opening, and I was young, and I was into bikes, and so I worked at the shop. I had worked at shops previously, so I knew a thing or two about working on bikes, but I came to John's and I learned so much about high-end stuff because this shop is just full of pretty much the best bikes you can buy in Los Angeles. So that was neat to have that opportunity to learn about playing with the best toys in the world, pretty much. This is definitely the best bike by far that I've ever owned, ridden, put my hands on. Just the frame, first of all, it looks fast. So, I mean, you can't complain with a fast looking bike. And then second of all, the way it rides, like usually when you get on a bike for the first time, there's that period where you're like, okay, it feels kind of weird. I got to get used to the different geometry from my last bike and the way it, the way it corners, the way it climbs, the way it feels out of the saddle, the way it feels with power. So this one, there was zero time for me to get used to it. I hopped on it and I was one with the bike like already.
Dude, you were an amateur just a couple of years ago. You made a meteoric rise. You did some great things. You got some fame.
You get covered to overnight stuff.
You gotta film Don give that spiel right now. Don, talk about that. What happened for me over the past 3 days?
He's a big baller. I called around to get a part for him, and they're like, "Oh, they overnight so you go to his training camp. He's Mr. Big Shot."
I'm blushing now. What can I do for you?
I'm just looking. Oh, here's one.
Okay.
You got it. No, Eric's a big baller now. Big Papa.
I've got a 6:30 flight tomorrow out of Burbank to make it to Tucson. And then I arrive at Tucson at like, I think around 10 or 11 in the afternoon and just straight on the bike, get, some kinks worked out. Yes. We'll see you at camp.